Breaking news from Southwest Idaho. We have special guest here today, Andrew Schumacher, and we are very excited to share a victory with you today.
Yeah.
And without further ado, let us know what you saw today, Mr. Andrew.
So I was, as many of you may know, if you're paying attention in Southwest Idaho, the Southwest District Health had a special board meeting today. A couple weeks ago, they had a meeting scheduled that we also went to. They wouldn't let people in the meeting, and they ended up canceling that meeting. And then they rescheduled it again for a few days later. I think this past Tuesday, that one got canceled as well, like the day before it happened. And then it finally happened today. A couple things that happened. Instead of having it at their offices, they moved it to the Canyon County Courthouse, and a bunch of things happened. But what I really kind of wanted to share in the fact that this is a victory is that this meeting was not about mask mandates. So,
nope.
But the first one was, and it's interesting because there was one point where they were discussing it. The board members were discussing, and they passed all the recommendations that came before them today. They did recommendations, not mandates.
So that's an important distinction. I want to stop you right there. If you follow me on Instagram or here, I had made a video like a week ago about, it's not about masks, it's about mandates. And a lot of people are very confused on that subject, that masks or no masks, that's not the discussion. The discussion is about mandates. Do we want unelected officials making decisions for our health? And the people spoke. I am very proud of everyone who showed up at the first attempted meeting that was not going to allow the public in to share their voice and to share the community's heart on the matter. And some changes were made. So if they had not shown up, I have every reason to believe Southwest Idaho would have mandates across about 6 counties. Am I right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to know that for sure, but it's interesting because in the meeting, the chairman, let me go ahead and I'm going to put some things up here. Oh, that's our... But let me go over to there. So this is the board. The guy on the left there, Brian Elliott, he's the chairman
of Jim County,
chair commissioner. He's from. These are, other than Sam Summers here, all of the board members are also commissioners from the various counties in the district. So there's these 4 guys. And
so let me just note there. You can scroll down and let everyone see the whole board. This was 7 people who were going to make this decision for us today. One of them was a physician. The other 6 are commissioners, county commissioners. Am I correct?
Right.
So let's see who voted for the recommendations.
Everyone voted for the recommendations. So they're except for Vicky Purdy, who you see here on the left of your screen. She is the one who actually had a dissenting voice in the board. And what's interesting is during the meeting, when she spoke up and said, she said something about mandates, and the chairman, Brian Elliott here on the left, stopped her and told her, this meeting is not about mandates. Mandates are not in front of us. We're not going to talk about anything except what's before the board. And so, if you keep talking about mandates, I'm going to ask you not to talk anymore, or something along those lines. It was very, pretty harsh. If you want to, I know that somewhere on their website or something, or their YouTube channel, they should have the meeting available to watch. I heard the sound is not really great on it.
Can I just say, that out of the 7 people making decisions or about public health, which one, let's just scroll through, let people, which one looked the healthiest out of these 7? I don't pretend to hide any bias, but I'll let you all think about that. And let's also remember that the chairman, is that he was the chairman of the board?
Yeah,
he said these are recommendations, not mandates. So remember that when you're walking around Southwest Idaho and people treat you as if these are mandates, because the chair commissioner of Gem County, well, he's the commissioner of the whole board. He's the chair of the whole board.
Yeah, he's in charge
Commissioner
of
of Gem County.
Right.
And he's in charge of the board. These are recommendations, not mandates. Now, they would have been mandates had the first meeting not been shut down by the great people of Idaho who showed up and did their part as concerned citizens. And for that, I am proud of you and I applaud you.
Yeah. And I do want to show you that as well. So I'm going to bring up here, this is the agenda. And you'll see this is from the July 16th meeting. This is actually the second meeting, but it has the same format as the first one did. You can go, I believe it's all still on their website. They have the old agendas are there, even for the canceled meetings. But if you look here, I can't point anything out to you on the screen other than to move things around. But if you go down here, this was what was planned for the 16th
at 10:20?
of July. They're at 10:20 a.m. This is when they see they were going to discuss face covering research, but this is where they were going to discuss and vote regarding public health measures. You see that last line there. It says we'll do all these measures as to the COVID-19 pandemic that include but are not limited to mandating face coverings. So as of the 16th, a week ago, they were going to discuss mandating. So, it's not too surprising if one of the members starts talking about mandates, but
and for clarity purpose, for clarity, I just want to remind you guys, I am not against mask or no mask. If you are for mandates, you need to look up Charlie Gard. I'm just going to remind you guys, because I know not everybody watches all of my videos. You need to look up Terry Schiavo. You need to look up Alfie Evans. You need to look up the woman, her name I think has been omitted from public eye. The woman last year who was told by a court of law that she had to have an abortion because she, according to the courts, was not smart enough to have a baby. She was I guess they would say disabled woman. I'm not sure. Yeah. So it's not about masks or no masks or washing your hands or not washing your hands. There are a lot of things you can do to be considerate. That is not the point here. You do not want 7 people deciding what you have to do for your health. Recommendations and mandates are 2 different things, and that's why I'm very proud of what the people of Idaho, the great people of the great state of Idaho, accomplished this week.
Yeah. And yeah, it was an interesting time. I mean, they told everyone, we took comments, and they did, some surveys and stuff, and people were able to send in comments. They got about 1,300 comments from the area and, online.
Also, if you go to Central District Health,
Southwest District.
I haven't eaten today. I have been praying instead of eating, and I ask you to join me in doing the same thing. If you go to their website or you go to their Facebook page, these posts are not public. They don't want you to find these posts. So their public Facebook page, if you like their page, then you can see, where they're saying, hey, vote in this poll. Here's going to be the meeting we're going to have. But look at the posts. They're not public posts. They're custom posts. You have to like their page to see the post. So about 4 people see the post. This is some Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy red tape. It's just laughable.
Yeah. So I wanted to show you guys this as well. So this was the agenda for today. They had a much short, truncated meeting just to discuss this stuff. The location, as you see right in there in the middle, changed to the Canyon County Courthouse. And this was at 10:15. Next to 10:15, you see the items that they were discussing. Recommendation to wear a face covering when the Southwest District Health COVID-19 health alert level is at or above yellow, which is low. They had 4 levels. Gray was the lowest, which I didn't read them detailed, but you can find those with the agendas. There's a packet that was sent out as well, so that has more detail on that. But basically, when there's a low but existing sort of alert level that they've decided, then it's recommended in public areas where physical distancing is at least 6 feet of non-household members is not possible. So it's not even really a recommendation at that level or at any level to always wear a mask in public. It's not that kind of a thing. So that's a far cry from mandating face masks. So they've got very careful with that language. The second recommendation had to do with limiting the density of persons at events to 1 person versus 64 square feet, which they explained that's about 8 feet, not 6 feet, but they explained that the reason for that type of measurement is to allow for, the other rules about gatherings of like 50 people don't make a lot of sense in like a big stadium or something.
I honestly think that these are self-explanatory. The biggest point is to show that because the people stood up for their rights, it was changed from mandates to recommendations. I can't drive that home hard enough because I have talked to so many conservative friends or who really think they're conservative, who are for mandates. And have they not studied history? Have they not even studied recent history in the last couple of years of what happens when health officials or unelected officials are allowed to make decisions for people's health? It is life and death in a much bigger way than just, what we're deciding for. It's not holistic thinking is what it is. It's, you as the parent not getting to decide if you unplug life support from your child. It's health officials getting to make these kinds of decisions. It has long-term effects, and we're all sinners, including county commissioners and health officials. So they should not, 7 people should not be given the power to mandate anything for a whole region.
Right. And so they got back in their lane.
Get back in your lane and stay there. Yeah.
We'll make some recommendations, and they're welcome to do that. They did vote on all the recommendations. Every member of that board except for Vicky Purdy voted yay on those. She voted nay, and so they did all pass. And by now I've already seen press releases and things saying that they passed the recommendations.
You passed a recommendation, okay?
And that's fine. I mean, if they want to do that.
Here, I'll pass a recommendation right now. Stand up for your freedom, folks.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation. And I want to be clear, I'm not against you wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, but I've also seen people who call themselves Christians gossiping and slandering about the people that showed up at the first meeting. The first meeting, no violence happened, none. People showed up to just say, hey, we want a voice here. And we don't believe that 7 people should make a decision for an entire region. And that historically that is very bad for mankind. And because of those people that showed up, I think about 75 or 100 people showed up today. Is that about right? And then maybe 40 showed up at the first attempted meeting. Because of them, They have protected your right here in Idaho to not have a Charlie Gard on our hands, to not have an Alfie Evans on our hands, where parents are, or individuals are stripped of the rights to make their own health decisions. And that's what happens when you give these little responsibilities away to other people that should be your responsibility. They're never going to give it back. They're never going to give that responsibility back. Once they take it, then they're going to take a little bit more. And that's just, that's how it works historically. And if you're slandering the individuals that were there instead of thanking them, I forgive you, but
that's wrong.
It's wrong. Did you have anything else? Thank you for going.
Yeah, I was glad to be there for sure. No, I think that's about it. That's the main thing we wanted to get across, that that peaceful resistance works.
It really does.
It really works.
They didn't vandalize anything. They didn't burn down anything. They didn't steal or loot anything. Nothing was painted. Completely peaceful. Nobody threw any punches. Nobody shoved anybody. Well, at the first meeting, a health official shoved a couple people, but none of the people took part in any of those violent actions. The media might spin it the other direction. In fact, I know that they have, but as an eyewitness to, I was at the first meeting. I decided not to go back to the second meeting because of anxiety levels. I'm thankful for this man right here. But yeah, for 2 eyewitnesses, that is what we saw.
Yep.
So thank you guys. I hope that you are healthy and free, and I wish you grace and peace.
Bye-bye.